Hey, what's up, guys? My name is today. I'm going to be doing a different video today. I'm going to be doing a 20 Disney theories video today. So before we get started, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, and subscribe to my other channel. My cat space is cute. Go subscribe. Get to like 50 followers on my other channel. I'll put a link in the description. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Or, I think I already said that already, but who cares? Subscribe, turn on post notifications, and like this video. Let's get started. Number 1. Lilo and Nani's parents from Lilo and Stitch were in the CIA. Though Mr. and Mrs. Pelikai die before the events in the movie takes place. One fan theory believes they have led to secret lives. The Cobra Bubbles holds the key. We're supposed to assume a former CIA agent left the business to become a social worker. Highly unlikely that what more likely is Cobra worked with either one of both Lilo and Nani's parents in the CIA, which would explain why he hasn't already yanked Lilo out from under Nani's care. Furthermore, the theory suggests Lilo's love of photography and usual taste in books are due to part of her parents' CIA influence. Number 2. Wheezy from Toy Story is secretly a villain. Wheezy the penguin who Woody saves from the beginning of the movie seems like a sweet guy, but is he really? According to one theory, Wheezy, forgotten on himself, probably became jealous watching Andy play Woody, Buzz, and all the time. So when it came to yard sale, Wheezy wasn't trying to save himself, and he knew Woody would attempt to rescue him, possibly getting sold in the process, which is exactly what happened. Which, with Woody out of the picture, Wheezy would have a better chance of getting attention from Andy. Plus, remember how Wheezy didn't say anything when Woody fell off Buster the dog? He did nothing to save his friend after his friend saved him. Number 3. The book Belle describes at the beginning of Beauty and the Beast is another famous movie. During the song, Belle, aka the tune of the townspeople, all sing about how weird Bella is. Belle describes her favorite book, far off places, daring sword fights, magic spells, and prince in disguise. To one fan, this sounded like Aladdin, but another claimed it was Sleeping Beauty. For starters, Aladdin is disguised as a prince, not the other way around. Prince Philip, however, is a prince in disguise when Princess Aurora meets him, mostly because she doesn't know he's a prince. Plus, we get a glimpse of the book when Belle reads it while sitting among the sheep, and it looks like more like Sleeping Beauty than Aladdin. Number 4. Boo from Monsters, Inc. is the witch from Brave. This one treads of sci-fi turf, but bear with us. Get it? Bear, Brave. Anyway, the witch from Brave magically appears when she goes to the doorways. Something the scariers from Monsters Inc. can do, too. It's possible Boo learned a trick or two from her bestie Sully. Of course, Brave takes place hundreds of years before Monsters Inc. But if Boo can teleport through the doors, it would make sense that she can move through a time a bit. But before you dismiss this theory, check out the carvings in the witch's workshop. There's a carving of Sully in there. Even though won't exist for another few more centuries, there is a separate theory that Boo is really Bonnie from Toy Story. But don't be fooled, her name is the same as the actress who voices her, Mary. Number 5. Emily from Toy Story 2 is actually Andy's mom. You may remember Jesse's owner, Emily from Toy Story 2, and probably evolved when she dumped Jesse into the donation bin. But is it possible she grew up to be Andy's mom? When Andy is playing with Woody in the original Toy Story, he was actually wearing a Jessie hat. Not a Woody hat. Did he inherit that hat from his mom? And does he own those vintage toys because Emily's reliving her childhood via the Roundup Gang? Also, Emily's childhood room decor was 1960s flower power, and Toy Story came out in 1995, which would make Emily in her 30s. Perfect age to have a 6-year-old kid, just saying. Number 6. Tarzan's Jane is descendant from Princess Belle. Not only do they look alike and love the color yellow, but consider this. In a scene in Tarzan, Turk is drumming on a tea set. The pot looks suspiciously like Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast. One of the teacups even appear to have a small chip. Some have speculated that Camille is a heirloom passed down from great-great-great-grandma Belle, which that might also explain why Jane knows how to connect with wild guys. Number 7. Elsa and Anna are Rapunzel's cousins. This one's hard to argue with. Rapunzel and Eugene are clearly seen arriving at Elsa's coronation. It's considered they don't live in Arendelle. Tangled is set in Germany. It must be the VIP invite list. There's also a few family similarities. Both Rapunzel and Elsa are blonde, and they both have powers that look pretty but kind of weird. Glowing magic hair, snowmaker hands. That would explain why the king was such a jerk about Elsa's powers. If his niece was kidnapped for her magic hair, it would make sense. He would want to conceal his own daughter's powers. In other words, maybe not. Maybe he's not the worst after all. Number 8. King and Queen of Arendelle died on the way to Rapunzel's wedding. Speaking of VIP invite lists, what fancy affairs were the king and queen attending when their ship capsized? During the Reddit AMA, director Jennifer Lee said the king and queen were heading to a wedding. Was it Rapunzel's wedding to Eugene? The timing is right, since Rapunzel still looks pretty much the same at the coronation. The trip was supposed to be 2 weeks, which would be a reasonable amount of time to travel about 1,600 miles round trip by sea and land. Oh, and speaking of the shipwreck, number 9. Ariel may have found the sunken ship of the king, Queen of Arendelle. If they capsized halfway there, that would be right around Atlantica, and their ship does look suspiciously like the one Ariel pillaged or explored. In The Little Mermaid, check out the whole insane theory that connects Frozen, Tarzan, and Little Mermaid here. Or whatever. Number 10. The king and queen survived the rock and became Tarzan's parents. During the same Reddit AMA, Lee said, according to Chris, Buck co-director, they did not die on the boat. They got washed up on shore in a jungle land. The queen gave birth to a baby boy. They built a treehouse. They got eaten by a leopard. She was joking, of course. We think. Of course. Shut up. Of course, this would make Tarzan the little brother of Anna and Elsa. Tarzan was raised by gorillas, but he's definitely human. Number 11. Aladdin takes place in time. Takes place in the far off future. The genie complains that 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck, but when he makes a bunch of modern day pop culture references, including impressions of Arnold Schwarzenegger, need whatever. I did not say that N word, by the way. Swears. I'm not gonna say that. And Jack Nicholson. So, unless a magic lamp has been sitting in front of a TV in the Cave of Wonders, we have to assume that Aladdin takes place 10,000 years from now. Of course, there's one other possibility. Number 12. Aladdin never happened at all. There's always a possibility to that entire story was completely fabricated by a salesman in the opening scene. So you buy the lamp. Number 13. Carl dies at the beginning of Up. The first few minutes of Up are harsh dose of reality. We need a box of tissues just thinking about it. So, it's weird the rest of the movie is filled with magical elements like flying houses, talking dogs. One explanation, Carl actually passed away the night before he was going and taken to Shady Oaks, and the movie would follow his journey to the afterlife as if he wasn't sad enough already. Number 14. In The Incredibles, Violet and Dash were once super newborns. The family does not realize Jack has powers until, spoiler alert, coming at ya, he turns into a tiny human fireball at the end. Things get really hectic in The Incredibles too. But if the family assumed he was normal, that means other kids must have their powers evident at birth. How crazy would that be to save a newborn baby with super speed and the power of invisibility? Number 15. Ariel's mom was in Peter Pan and murdered by Captain Hook. Disney is no stranger to Easter eggs, and this one seems more than 30 years into the making. The mermaids in Peter Pan may have not been super memorable, but the one mermaids who stick out more than the rest. A young redhead who bears at the striking resemblance to another famous Disney mermaid, but while we never met Ariel's mother in The Little Mermaid, in Ariel's beginning we learned her name could be Athena. The mermaid in Peter Pan is never named, meaning her name could be Athena. It is also revealed Athena is killed by pirates, and the mermaids in Peter Pan have a less than cordial relationship with Captain Hook and his pirates. Could it be that Hook killed Ariel's mom? Number 16. Little Mermaid, Ariel, and Hercules are cousins. Everyone who studied Greek mythology will quickly realize how these two Disney characters are totally related. In Little Mermaid, Ariel's father is King Triton, who is a Greek mythology son of Poseidon, god of the sea. This makes Poseidon's Ariel's grandfather. Greek mythology also dictates that Poseidon is Zeus's brother, who in Greek mythology and Hercules is Hercules' father. This means King Triton and Hercules are first cousins, making Ariel and Hercules first cousins once removed. Number 17. Nemo didn't survive the attack that killed his mother and siblings. Finding Nemo openly to arguably one of the saddest different scenes of all time. Marlin's wife, Coral, and all of her eggs are attacked by a ferocious fish, leaving Nemo and Marlin as the only survivors. However, some fans believe Nemo never survived the attack, and the movie is just an allegory of Marlin's dealing with the stage of grief. The evidence? Let's start with the fact that in Latin, Nemo means nothing, hinting Nemo being nothing more than a figment of Marlin's imagination. Secondly, the 5 states of grief are easily mapped out in the movie. Denial, not wanting Nemo to go to school. Anger, yelling at Nemo when he swims out too far. Bargaining, journey across the ocean. Despair, seeing Nemo flush down the drain. Acceptance, learning to finally let go of the past. Number 18. Sven's mom was killed by ice harvesters, and Kristoff is wearing her pelt. At the beginning of Frozen, viewers were introduced to a young Kristoff and the baby Sven, and when you eventually meet the two duo later in the film, it's clear that they have been friends for as long as they can remember. At first, the friendship seems innocent. Kristoff needed a way to get around the cold tundra, and the furry reindeer is a perfect companion, but it turns out the friendship has much more darker connection. Baby Sven is never seen with a mother reindeer, leaving many to believe she's been slain by the other ice harvesters, and her pelt was given to baby Kristoff to keep warm. Meaning Kristoff has been wearing the fur from his best friend's mother his whole life. Number 19. A scene from The Empire's New Groove is actually one of the brutal human murders. Disney movies aren't afraid to get dark, but for the most part, The Empire's New Groove is just a fun movie, right? It's